Hey everyone, it's Mark here. Welcome to DigiProfits. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at price action on Joule, Harmony One, and Bitcoin. We're going to also go over some of the reasons to be bullish about the long-term potential of Joule, which is obviously the native token of DeFi Kingdoms. So anyway, this channel, it's one where I'm going to be looking at a lot to do with making profits from digital currencies, but also from time to time other things that I delve in, like I do affiliate marketing. I've been making money online since 1999. So that includes affiliate marketing, making and selling info products, that includes drop shipping physical products and stuff like that. But largely this channel is going to be dealing with digital currencies, and I'm going to probably stick most of the time to projects that you may not see in some of the other channels, because there's already some pretty good ones that are focused a bit more heavily on, say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so forth, which I'm also bullish about long term. So without further ado, let's have a look at DeFi Kingdoms. So DeFi Kingdoms, if you're not aware, it's a game. It's a sort of like a play to earn game, but it's also more of a decentralized finance place that's sort of almost disguised as a game at the moment anyway, until they add more play to earn features to it. And so over looking at the price action here, we've been pretty bearish lately on price action. And at the same time, we've been pretty bearish on Bitcoin lately as well, but not necessarily to this degree. So some people that have been in the game like me since, I haven't been in as long as some people, but I've been in since it was I got in first about here. Okay. So, and I'll explain how I've been largely profitable for most of the time. I'm coming close to break even now that it's dropped a bit below my average buy-in, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. But my philosophy has been like to dollar cost average my way in. So most of my buy-in was actually around here. And I've taken a lot of profits between here and here in terms of anyway, the emissions and what you can earn from within the game, not so much taking my investment out, just in terms of the rewards that were given. And then I bought that back in around here, and all the way down every day down to here. But anyway, looking at the price action on Joule alone, without looking at the overall market, as you can see, we're about to finally hit our trend line, our downtrend line, which started off with resistance here. We broke through what now is a trend line by looking at where we wicked down to, where we hit there as well. So it was support here, and here. It was support 3 times, but it was resistance here. It was a lot of resistance to get through that line there. So that's why I've drawn that in on a log scale. By the way, this is a logarithmic scale here that we're looking at. And so I've originally brought in without doing any technical analysis. I just liked what I saw in the project. I could see that it's up and coming, and there's a lot to be bullish about. And I probably got in at the wrong time, but I only put in a small amount. I put in maybe a few $1,000s around this price point here. But then that was when I put in like a good decent 5-figure chunk around here, when I knew that we had the launch of the additional chain, which is Crystal Veil, coming up. So so that came out, and that caused the price to just really go up of Joule, because people were putting money into the liquidity farms over there, and there just wasn't enough Joule to be able to be purchased. So it just caused a supply squeeze all the way up to here. I'd kind of hoped I'd hit my fib level up here. I may have even taken out some liquidity if we got to there. So I ended up having to ride the downtrend, unfortunately for me. But fortunately for me, I also took several $1,000s in profit here from the actual rewards that get spat out. Because as many of you know, over on DeFi Kingdoms, if you go in and you go into do any of your professions, or you go in over on and do some gardening and stuff like that, you earn Joule all the time. Like I'm earning Joule here. I go collect my hero here, And I will just show you just me making a little bit of Joule in game. Not sure what I've got here, but for this little chunk here, you'll see some money come in. I make a lot more from the gardens themselves. The gardens themselves, I make over 100, might be 120 Joule a day there. So that's right now it's about 350 US dollars. From this, here we go. That's 3.45 Joule. So at the time of recording this, that's about $10 right now. So that's great. And that just gets added. And I've constantly got gardeners and miners. Miners are mining some of my locked Joule out as well. So that's what I talk about when I'm talking about the rewards. But going back and looking at the price action, my next buy-in where I might put, say, $10,000 in is about $2.68, roughly, $2.68, around about that fib level, because that fib level also corresponds with a trend line. It may form resistance, but it may not if the wider market like Bitcoin doesn't have some reasonable price action as well. And this is just a technical standpoint. This is not looking at the actual stuff that's happening in game right now. So you probably, want to stick around and just listen to some of the reasons to be bullish long term, but that might not necessarily play out right bam when we hit this. So we could fall through. It might not hold as resistance this time. That might have just been a big coincidence. It might even come down to here. Next fib line I'd be looking at would be $2.04 roughly. So just over that, I'd probably buy in again. And then probably again down here, I would probably double or triple my buy-in around this sort of pricing if it manages to get down that far. Not sure if it will, but if it does, it's probably more likely when that downtrend line hits, which would be way across, like July or something like that, if it went that way. Long term, though, I am bullish, but before that, I want to just show you Harmony One as well, because it's built on Harmony One, at least until they get their own blockchain going properly with heroes and quests and everything else, which is over on Crystal Vale. But in terms of Serendale, that's on Harmony One. And Harmony One at the moment is in a little downtrend. It may break across and through and out, or it may end up heading all the way down to this fib level here. If it does, again, that's more likely to be around July, and if it does, then that's where you could see definitely a high chance of a bottom for Joule as well. Looking at the RSI, it's been just being progressively lower before bouncing up. So if that went lower to here, we're talking about hitting around about there roughly before a little bounce, which could come to here and back down, or it could go all the way up. Who knows? Harmony One it's one of those layer one blockchains that's got lots of projects on it, over 300 projects on it, and growing. But also large bag holders that just hold diversified portfolios of layer ones. They might have, say, 3% of it in Harmony One. They might have 10%, whatever it is. When all of the layer ones go up and have a bull run, Harmony One, it's just inevitable to get dragged up with it as well. Bitcoin, we've been in a downtrend. We've broken the downtrend across. Some people would call this a bull flag, that we're going to drop through and retest the 33k mark and perhaps even go to a lower fib level. There's support at these levels as well, but probably the lowest possible might be 21k I could see, but I don't really see it happening. I think more realistically 33k is where I'd be looking at as a bottom if it breaks through. Maybe 29k. Either way, I'm dollar cost averaging all the time, so it's like if you do end up that low and lower, it just represents the ultimate buying opportunity in the future. But at the moment, we're just trending crossways. We've been wicking down, we wicked down. This could prove to be a wick as well. We could end up just bouncing back up in our trend line and going up to 50k before coming hard down to 33k way over here. We're not out of it until we actually start to push through that 52k mark. Like, you break the trend line, you break the first fib level, and there's a high chance that you're off to higher prices from there. Never guaranteed, of course, but then I'd be looking at a target at that top level of our longer range trend line around 72k if it's anytime soon, or potentially over 100k if it happens to be further down the track. All right, so what are some reasons to be bullish about Joule? Well, all right, so Joule now is no longer serving as just a governance token and something for payout rewards. If it was just like that, then I would compare it more to SLP, which is on Axie Infinity, and that's just constantly been sort of bleeding over time. But it's more than that. It's more like an Axie Infinity as such. In fact, it's probably better in a lot of ways, because it's every time transactions happen over on Crystal Veil, which is on now its own native DFK chain, a subnet of Avalanche, Joule is going to be it's going to be burnt. A portion of it will be burnt. Obviously, a portion is given to validators of the wallets. Some of it goes into the Quest fund, but some of it gets burnt, which continuously increases the value of Joule by implementing the constant burn mechanism, which deflates the supply. Okay. So right now, over on Crystal Veil, we have pretty much nothing happening. We have gardens. That's about it. So you've got a tavern. You can go and you can lock up your crystal, or you can farm it. That's it. So there's not many transactions happening. So there's not much burning of Joule happening. So what's going to happen when there are dozens of tokens available that people are buying and selling over on Crystal Veil or over in the DFK chain? So what happens when Phantom, Solana, you name it, Dogecoin, could be anything. All of those coins are available there. What happens is people will arbitrage to try and get the best price, and while that's happening, Joule keeps getting burnt. Every time you add more and more of these tokens, there's more reasons why people are buying, selling, trading, and Joule gets burnt, and Joule goes up in price. So at some point, it's going to reach a bottom and come up. For that reason, Joule as gas. Don't forget, all the heroes and quests have not come out yet. When heroes and quests came out over here, this is what happened. Heroes and quests came out, and we went on a bit of a bull run right there with Joule, because there just wasn't enough supply at that point in time relative to the heroes and quests. And we haven't even scratched the surface yet. We haven't even got leveled quests yet. Well, we've got very few. We've got level 0, maybe some level 1 quests. What's going to happen when there's like a level 10, 11, 12? The more there is, the more gameplay that's going to happen, and the further. Also, when that happens over on Crystal Veil, the more Joule gets burnt as more transactions take place, as people go claim their rewards and so forth. Not to forget, player versus player is coming up. So, just got to find the right page here. Just give me a quick sec. Sorry, just be a moment. Bit informal. I had it on a page ready. Oh, here we go. Player versus player. So heroes, they're going to be able to participate in 3x3 combat against other players for both fun and to compete for wages. And additionally, periodic tournaments will be held that reward winning teams for the quest fund. So that is going to it's going to result in a lot more transactions taking place, a lot more people needing Joule in order to play this stuff. So there's a lot more reason why people are buying Joule in order to participate in this. But at the same time, when that is over on Crystal Veil at a date in the future, that also means there is obviously crystal being earned in that case, but Joule is the gas token. That's where that comes in. Now, pets is coming up pretty soon. People have been getting eggs all the time lately, and then they get hatched into rare pets, but only, I think it's once a year. So that means that it's probably going to be a big bump once a year. It may come down again after that, though. I don't know, but certainly these pets, they can grant stat bonuses, passive abilities, and more, and they can accompany you on your quests. So those pets themselves may become quite valuable if they do only hatch once a year, which is what I've been hearing. So that certainly will raise up the price of the pets at the very least. if not the price of Joule as well, because people are going to want to use Joule to buy the pets and so forth. Now, renting of heroes. People are going to be able to rent their heroes, just like people in Axie Infinity that drove the price up through the roof when people could rent their Axies out to other people in order to receive in-game rewards. So there's that's coming up. Also, you're going to be able to rent out your heroes from within the game. So there's another reason to be bullish. And also another reason to be bullish is like Bitcoin in the long term. When the whole market goes up, it's going to drag Harmony One with it. It's going to drag AVAX with it. And as a result, DeFi Kingdoms, whenever decentralized DeFi games has a little bull run, DeFi Kingdoms is right near in the thick of it. It will go up with it. So there's that as well. And also, they're going to be adding other things that are quite exciting that I think you should have a quick look at over here. Where is it? Oh, that's right. So they're going to be offering DeFi utilities. So they're going to leverage the gamified front end. But don't forget, this is more of a gamified version of decentralized finance. Okay, so it's gamified decentralized finance. So they're going to allow things that decentralized finance allows, like lending, borrowing and lending of cryptocurrencies, option trading. So you're going to be able to do full option trading and buying and lending. That's a lot of stuff that if Joule is the token that keeps getting burnt from those things happening, so that'll happen over on Crystal Vale. That's mostly anyway. I think it may also happen on Serendale. That's certainly going to allow for a lot more price action on Joule. So we may find, yes, the price may drop. The price may drop through the floor. It may not hold resistance here. It may drop to here. But these are just representing the ultimate buying opportunities. I'd also remind you guys that Phantom dropped to about 16 cents last year when Bitcoin dropped to 29K. Phantom also went to $3.48 when Bitcoin, went on its bull run. So, and there was a time when Cardano ADA dropped to 3 cents a few years back. 3 cents it was $1.07, went to 3 cents. 6 months later, it was over $3. So people made 100x. So, if you're someone that, I'm not shilling this coin. You don't have to buy this coin. This is more for people that are already buying this coin anyway. Okay? Because, you should always do your own research in this stuff. This is not financial advice. It's just what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. But if this does go through the floor like that, much like what happened with Phantom and so forth, it's simply, even if it went lower, it simply presents the ultimate buying opportunity. If you're ever going to make 20x, the only way you're really likely to make 20x is if we fall to here or to here, and then we end up there, right? That's the only likely way. You're not likely to make 30x or 100x. You're definitely not likely to make 100x by going from $2.90 to $290. You're more likely to make 100x if you went to 50 cents and went up to $50. Not saying we're going to 50 cents, by the way. I'm just saying just another way to look at it, another way to think about it. When it comes to this price action, when you hear people doing super well out of some of these things. But there's a lot of reasons to be bullish about this. There's a lot of decentralized type gaming environments that do not have a subnet. They do not have a lot of the development that has gone on in this game. I mean, you can even go into this game right now and you can buy money in the game from fiat. I mean, they've sorted it out with Ramp, where you can just go through Ramp in the game itself. I'll show you what I mean here. I could just go in. I mean, people they've thought of a lot of stuff. I could just go to the bridge. Sorry, not the bridge. Go to the docks. Go to the Dockmaster. And I could literally buy one using my credit card. So I can be straight in using my credit card. I don't have to go to Binance or some other blockchain and then transfer it from there into here. I don't have to go to KuCoin or whatever. I can just buy it right here. And then I'm away. I'm in. So there's a lot of reasons that it makes it easy for players. So I think that there's a lot of reasons to be bullish about the long term. Short term, well, global economic factors, dollar strength, stuff going on around the world, that can certainly affect things. But those are my few reasons to be bullish about it, and that's my bit of technical analysis for the moment. My next buy-in, I'll be buying in here. And then if it does fall through, I've got here and here as my next targets for larger buy-ins. And the rest of the time, I'm just mostly compounding, taking my earnings and just adding it back into my liquidity pools that I have both on. I've got liquidity pools on Serendale, but I've also got a couple of liquidity pools over on Crystal Vale. One of them I don't touch because I don't want to have to claim when I touch it. One of them I might just keep adding to. So that's it from me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Maybe even share the channel because it's brand new, could be helpful. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, everybody.